Afternoon or good morning wherever you are in the world. It is afternoon in Australia, just after 4 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And I'm just going to talk for a bit for people to come on and join me with the live. We've got a few joining us on Facebook. So we've got Facebook and we've got Instagram. Once you have joined, just give us a like. So that is just for Facebook and Instagram so that other people see that we are live. And so just do a like and let us know where you are, where you're located. Are you in Australia? If you are in Australia, where in Australia are you? And if you're offshore, like overseas, let us know what city and what country you are. Okay, so there's been a few things that's changed. A few new things. As you can see, it looks a bit different. So I have moved. That was also part of the reason why I wasn't live for, was it 2 or 3 weeks? I just was really, I just had to take a break of work and had to focus on moving, had to focus on renovations because, has anyone renovated here on the live? Has anyone renovated a house or an apartment or even just a room? It is very time consuming. There is a lot of things that need to be organized. And anyways, so renovations, moving house. I also did a training course for 7 days. So that was very demanding as well. When you're joining us, just give us a like so that we can let other people know that we are online. We did make announcements that I'm going live today. And I will also soon announce the winning topic that I will be speaking about. But yeah, it's so good to be back. And from now on, I'm now settled and should be live, back live every Monday. Having said that, we have Easter coming up next week, and Easter is a holiday in Australia. I know it's not a holiday in every country, but it is a holiday in Australia. So Friday and Monday are public holidays. So we'll let you know if I do a live or not. But usually on public holidays, people are busy with family activities and so on. All right. So we've got a few people online on Facebook and Instagram. Not sure if you can see the comments. Can you just comment? Where are you located? So I can see if we're getting any comments. Because one other thing is new. I have a new assistant. Her name is Far, and she will be commenting as I'm doing the live. Okay, so you don't have to wait for me to finish the live. It depends though. If there's certain questions that she can't answer, then I will answer it after the live. So put your comments in, put your questions in, and we'll respond to it, okay? And make sure that you have your questions ready as well. So for today's live, we gave you 3 options. First one was how to know if you qualified for a specific visa type. Second one was Australian citizenship. And the third one was how to extend a current visa and what are the options. Here we go. First comment from Kamel. Hello, I'm in Australia, in Northern Territory. Kamel, whereabouts in the Northern Territory? Are you in Darwin, in Catherine and Alice Springs, or in one of the remote communities? Let us know where you are. We've got Katie. She's in New South Wales. Whereabouts, Katie? Are you in Sydney? We've got Ron in Manila. In the Philippines. Kamel is in Darwin. Yep. Excellent. Great. Wonderful. And we've got a few people on Instagram. Instagram, just give me Do you do likes on Instagram? I just have a yeah, just escaped me if you do likes. I think do love hearts. Oh yes, that's right, love hearts on Instagram. So Instagram, please give me some love if you can, and also let us know in the comments where you are located. All right, so I spoke about the 3 topics that you had to choose from or could choose from. Now, who in the live audience has actually voted? If so, please comment and comment with number 1, 2, or 3. So 1 was how to know if you qualified for a specific visa type. 2 was Australian citizenship. 3 is how to extend a current visa and what are the options. Okay, so just let me know did you vote for 1, 2, or 3? Katie says she's in Wollongong. Okay, Wollongong is not far from Sydney, I believe. I have been to Sydney. I'm not sure if I have been to Wollongong, but I think that's very close. John is in Nambulwa. Is this Northern Territory? It sounds like a community. Kamel has voted for topic number 1. Yep. And Ron is asking, any news when the border will be opened? No. No. And we actually got some not so good news today in Queensland. So what's happened, there have been some cases in Brisbane, some COVID cases. And now Brisbane is going into a 3-day hard lockdown. So starting on this evening until Thursday. Yeah. So look, COVID in Australia has been, compared to other countries, quite under control. And yeah, there has been here and there cases and lockdowns. We were going really well for the last few weeks and few months, but unfortunately now there is again cases happening, and the Australian governments, they are very strict with these kind of things. So in regards to your question, Kamel, no news as to when borders open. And look, I mean, the good thing is now there's the vaccines. So I understand vaccines are now available, you know, in lots of different countries. There's vaccinations happening in Australia. And I think as we progress with the vaccinations, there will be hopefully some news very soon in regards to borders opening. But at this stage, there hasn't been any news. No. Okay, so we had people saying they voted for 1 and 3, and that was exactly what we observed in our polls on Facebook and Instagram. It was really between these two. So there was a few votes for citizenship, and but it was mainly between number 1 and number 3. And number 3 was the winning topic. So today I'm talking about how to extend a current visa and what are the options. Mind you, even if you voted for 1, don't be disappointed, because it is very similar actually, as in the content that I'm sharing today can definitely be used also for people who want to know about question number 1. Okay, and as always, the questions that are not winning, they will be going back into the drawer, and you know, eventually I will speak about it. And eventually I want to speak about citizenship because citizenship has been now available as a topic a few times, and it has never been picked up so far. Yeah, so Ron, what is he saying? I am a seafarer, been in Botany Bay 3 times last year, never got a chance to go out. I vote for 3. Yes, excellent. Yeah, 3 is the winning topic, Ron. Perfect. Okay, so let's get started. Well, I've got my notes. Yeah, so that way I make sure that I don't forget anything, because I can get carried away, especially when there's questions and comments. Okay, so basically the first thing that I want to clarify, and we only use that because the language is used by our clients and by migrants. So there's actually no such thing than extending a visa. Okay? You can't extend a visa. What you can do is you can apply for a new visa. So question number 3 or topic number 3 is really for people who are in Australia. So not overseas, they're already in Australia. So Kamel, for example, and other people who are, Katie, for example, who are in Australia on current visas. And every visa has an expiry date. Okay, so let's say Katie's visa expires on the 15th of May, which is fairly soon, in 6 weeks' time. That means Katie really needs to organize a new visa. Let's say Katie is on a student visa and it expires on the 15th of May. Katie needs to apply for a new visa before the current visa expires. Okay, so before the 15th of May, a new visa needs to be lodged so that Katie gets a bridging visa to continue to stay in Australia. And then also depending on, what you need, do you need work rights, for example? Do you need Medicare, which is the Australian health system? Do you need study rights? Or is it okay for you to just visit, to just not work, don't have any health care? And if that is okay for you, then the lower your requirements are, that means the lower the requirements of the visas are. Okay. Now, so first myth of extension of visas, doesn't really occur. Okay. So you need to always apply for a new visa. Even if you are on a student visa and you want to extend your student visa, that means you have to apply for a new student visa. So sometimes that term's getting used. We use it as well, but we know what it means. But for example, education agent refer to it, or when you read it somewhere, extension means a new visa. So that means a whole new visa application. And what that means is it puts you at risk of refusal, because there's just never a guarantee that the visa will be approved. Okay, so you always have to bear in mind and manage the risk. Yeah. And especially, let's just, use the example of a student visa. So if you are currently on a student visa and your visa is about to expire and you are not aware of your visa options and you think, I'm just going to extend my student visa. So many people think that and do that. You have to be mindful and careful of the GTE requirement, the genuine temporary entrant criterion, okay? Especially if you have been in Australia for quite some time, and especially if you have been on a few student visas before, or if you have been on a student visa and a postgraduate visa, and then going back to a student visa. We get that all the time, that we have people on postgraduate visas, subclass 485, and then many people think, I'm just gonna go on a student visa. They think it's the easiest. They think it's the most convenient. It's not always true though. Yeah. So that's where it really pays off to make the investment of a consultation with us. Okay, where we assess your visa options, because there may be other options than a student visa. Because if you think about it, a student visa, yes, you may get a student visa for free if you go to an education agent and they enroll you in the course and they get you the student visa, and you're not paying any fees for the education agent. However, you're paying thousands of dollars on tuition fees for the course, and you only get part-time work rights. So wouldn't it be a lot better if you pay fees to a migration agent such as myself or one of my team, but you get maybe a visa that actually leads you to permanent residency, leads you to your goals, gives you permanent or gives you full-time work rights, maybe even gives you Medicare, and that means that investment is going to be tripled or limitless, because once you're on your path to permanent residency, then it's so much better than going from student visa to graduate visa back to student visa. and then eventually being refused because you're not meeting the GTE. Because I don't want to be negative. However, that's just what I witness and see as a migration agent. Okay, people are going back and forth between student visas. All right, so enough about student visas, because student visa is only one visa option. Okay, we use student visas as kind of a last resort option. Okay, or well, we have a few last resort option. Last resort means really the last option. Okay, if there's nothing else, then we use student visas sometimes, just to keep people in the country, because we are aware, especially with COVID, it is hard for people to either return to their home countries or just go anywhere, really. There's only a very little countries that are not as much affected by COVID. Australia, for example, is quite safe. New Zealand is quite safe. I'm not sure. Are you? What's it like in the Philippines, Ron? Tell me. And who else do we have? Do we have people from Fiji? We usually have quite a few people from Fiji. Just going to give you a moment because I think there's a bit of a delay between me speaking and the comments coming through. So I'm just going to talk a bit slower. And also, if you just joined, give us a like, give us a heart on Instagram. A heart. Here we go. No, that's a better heart. Here we go. Give us, tell us where you're from, where you're living. Even, feel free to tell me what visa you're on. This is for you. Okay. So I'm spending my time with you for free. There's no fees. You ask me questions. This is your time. Where you get me for free. Otherwise, you would need to have to pay for consultation. Okay. So Katie is asking, can I go from a student visa to a tourist visa before going home, just to buy me some time before going back home? Yeah. So that could be one option, Katie. Tourist visa could be one option. Having said that, again, so every visa has requirements. So how you need to think about it is you need to think about, okay, what is your goal? So using Katie as an example, Katie's goal, I understand, is to actually eventually go home. Katie, where are you from? As in, what country are you from? And where's home? As in, when you say you'd be going home, where is that? Is that the UK or? Anyways, so basically, so you need to know what your goal is. So Katie, for example, now says, okay, she wants to go home. However, she wants to have some more time in Australia. Now, there's a few visas that we currently use for these kind of circumstances because, we have a few clients in that situation where the current visa runs out and they're happy, they're happy to go home. However, they want to spend some more time in Australia because they want to wait for things to get better. Oh, Katie's from Germany. Hello. Ich bin auch aus Deutschland. You probably know that. Great. Okay. So if you want to wait, for example, for things to get better in your home country, I had a consultation last week with a client. He's from Brazil, and Brazil is apparently really bad at the moment. Apparently there's 3,000 deaths a day, COVID-related deaths a day. And yeah, so he said under no circumstances is he wishing to currently go to Brazil. So yeah, there's means and ways to do this. So tourist visa could be one option. However, there's also other visas. So one visa we also use for these kind of circumstances is the COVID visa. So who is joining us here on the live has heard of the COVID visa, which was introduced last year because of the pandemic? So just give me a like, a wave, a yes. Okay, Katie is saying comments are delayed, and there's something else that she's saying. I would like to stay long term in Australia, but I feel like it's too hard, so I'm considering going home. But I have 2 dogs in Australia, and it's hard to get home with dogs at the moment. Katie, well, maybe we can help you. You know, if you want to stay in Australia, who knows? You know, there may be a way. What you need to do is you need to book an appointment for a consultation. Okay, so in a paid consultation, what we do is we do assess the visas that you are eligible for. So we look at your resume, your CV, we look at your qualifications, your work experience. We look at things like points. Okay, so if you, for example, eligible for points tested visa, such as a skilled visa, subclass 190 or 491 or 189, then we look at that. We look at your English language skills. Okay, have you done an IELTS test? Have you done a PTE test? What are your points? Because some visas require a certain English score. Skilled visas, for example, they require you to have quite a high English score, and then there's other visas, they require only a lower English score, and then there's visas that don't require any English scores. Okay, so Katie, what I recommend for you is to book a consultation, and that way we can assess your long-term options in Australia. Okay, because that way you can stay in Australia with your dogs. Any other comments or questions? Okay, so going back to topic 3, how to extend a current visa and what are the options. So as I said, if you're currently in Australia on a visa and it is expiring soon, say, well, we usually recommend to start the new visa process, or to at least, have a consultation with us 2 to 3 months prior to expiring. Okay, the sooner you get organized, the better. But yeah, so if you can contact us and make an appointment with a migration agent from my team, I would recommend at least 2 to 3 months. Okay. Then we assess your eligibility, and we can then give you advice as to what we think, is the most suitable visas. And usually there is actually quite, a few options. Yeah. So not just one, but there may be, 2, 3, 4 options, depending on again your goal, and depending on, for example, your occupation. Okay. So it depends also, do you need a skills assessment? These are all the things. And this is also in regards to the topic I'm talking about today. So it really depends on your eligibility. Okay. So if you're currently on the visa and you're thinking of, wanting to stay, that means you need to speak to us, and then we can tell you, okay, what is the most suitable visa for your situation and also for your goals. If your goal is permanent residency in Australia and eventually citizenship, well, then we can really map that out for you. Okay, we can map that out, the whole pathway from start to finish, how to reach your goal. Okay, if your goal is just to stay in Australia for a bit longer until COVID is hopefully getting better and hopefully getting more under control, we can certainly assist with that as well. That means, there's a bit of a shorter term strategy, but at least, you can stay in Australia. We can make sure that we apply for a visa with, for example, work rights. So that means you can work, you can earn money so that, in Australia, we earn really good money here in Australia compared to other countries. And imagine you can work for another 3, 4, 5 months, earn that money, and then take that money home as savings. You're going to live like a king and a queen. Or you can support your family, and you can start a new life when you're back home. And you will have to, because especially if you've been away for some time, you start from the start again. All right. Okay. So in regards to eligibility, we're looking at qualifications. We're looking at work experience. We're looking at your English language skills. We're looking at your points, okay, for skilled visas. So Katie just said she will be booking in an appointment. Yep, excellent. Yeah, I really recommend that, Katie. Look, I mean, the fees for the consultation is $300 roughly, more or less. And it's really an investment in your future, because that way we can really assess your options and we can give you advice. And once you're also, once you're in our database, we'll look after you. Okay, so once you have booked a paid consult, then you're one of the client base, and we'll look after you and make sure that we assist you as much as we can. Okay, I think there was one. I'm just gonna try and scroll up, because I think there was one question about points. Deep. What are the chances for motor mechanic at 75 points with state 491? I'm living in regional Queensland from 6 years and working as motor mechanic and have positive skills assessment. So see, this is exactly something that we assess in a paid consultation. All right. So I'm not going to be able to do that sort of assessment now in a live, because this live is meant to be just brief, 20, 30 minutes. But deep, I would recommend to book, like Katie, book a consultation, and then we can offer you advice. If you have 75 points, that's really good. However, Queensland is a little bit, I don't want to say difficult, but it's not easy, okay, compared to other states. So, but you said you have a positive skills assessment. That's good. So that means you're kind of ready to go. Otherwise, we can also assist with skills assessment. I did a live on skills assessments a few weeks ago before the break. So if anyone is interested in finding out more about skills assessments, check out the recorded lives. They are both on Facebook as well as Instagram, as well as YouTube, on our YouTube channel. So check out my live about skills assessment. I think that was quite helpful for some. John is asking, what is COVID visa? John, it is a specific visa for people who are stuck in Australia because of COVID. And it's for people who just can't apply for anything else other than the COVID visa. So there's different streams, mainly in regards to the one that I'm talking about. It depends. If you work in a critical sector, such as childcare or healthcare, agriculture, there's a few critical sectors. So if you work in that, it's actually a really, really good visa option. However, if you don't work in a critical sector, then you can still apply for a COVID visa as well. All right. So there's means and ways. If you want to find out more, John, if you want to find out if you are eligible for the COVID visa, then send us a message, and then we can send you the link to our booking page where you can then book an appointment for a consultation. John, are you currently in Australia? Because the COVID visa is only for people in Australia. Okay. All right. Is there Instagram? Is there any comments, questions on Instagram? Facebook is usually more active. I haven't seen my regulars. I mean, I know I have been absent. I have been busy, but I'm back, and I haven't seen who was one of the regulars. Ella was one of the regulars. Ella Anderson. Is Ella online? I think she's in the UK. And also Jimmy in Fiji, I think he was. Or was it, no, Solomon Islands, I think he was. Okay, excellent, John. What is your occupation? Are you a doctor or a nurse? You say yes. So John is in Australia and he says he's working for a remote clinic. So it sounds to me something in health. I will wrap up soon because that's pretty much what I've had to say. Just to summarize, while John is hopefully sending, oh, he's just a driver. All right. Well, okay. Look, John, we need to look into that, okay? Because so we need to look into what kind of clinic is it, where is it, and so on. So we need to get a few more details from you to be able to clean our garden. Okay, so you driving, you cleaning, and you do the gardening. Okay. Yeah, so not really critical skills. However, because you're doing that for a health clinic, yeah, like I said, we need to look into the details. So John, I also recommend, Far, can you please put the link, the booking link for John? And then John, you can just click on that link and that is where you find more information about our booking system and see, you know, the pricing, and then you can also see the calendar, and that's where you can choose the day and the time that suits you best and make your appointment. Yeah, you're in Southeast Arnhem Land. Perfect. Obviously, that means you're remote. We can connect with you via Skype, Zoom, WhatsApp, or just telephone. Okay, so you're on a 461 bridging visa, applied for 461. Great. Okay. Look, John, my assistant Far, she will put the booking link into the chat here. And then you can just, like I said, click on that link. And that leads you to the booking page, and then you can make an appointment. So today is Monday. Obviously, we have Easter coming up. Yeah, here you go. Far just posted the booking link. So anyone who is watching now and also the recording, just click on that booking link. So it's northernimmigration.com.au/book an appointment. And then that way, yeah, you're welcome, John. That way you can book the appointment, and it's available, yeah, this week. You know, if you want to get in before Easter, we are closed over Easter. So Friday is closed, Saturday, Sunday, Monday is closed, and then we're back on Tuesday. All right. Okay. So just to wrap up, topic 3, how to extend a current visa and what are the options. Basically, extensions don't exist. It is a new visa application. All right. Meaning, you putting yourself at risk for refusal. That is just needs to always be in the back of your mind, because, and I also did a live on what happens if a visa is refused, especially if you're onshore. If you're offshore, it just is refused and nothing really happens. It's refused. That means there's no review rights usually. There's in very few cases there is review rights, but usually that's where it finishes. Secondly, you basically lost the money that you invested for the visa application charges, and you can apply again. Okay, so offshore is different to onshore. If you're onshore, and I'm talking today mainly to the people who are onshore, like in Australia, and you apply for a visa and it gets refused, then it gets hard. I mean, in the majority of cases, you get review rights, meaning you can appeal the decision of the department to the tribunal. It's quite a long process. If you're just looking to win time, some people do that. I wouldn't recommend it, you know, if you know already your visa you're not eligible for it, because you're just wasting a lot of time and a lot of money. Again, speak to a migration agent if you're unsure, and especially if your visa is expiring soon. I definitely recommend speaking to a migration agent. But anyways, the main thing is if a visa has been refused in Australia, that means you cannot apply for a new visa from onshore. And this is obviously, especially in the current environment with COVID, a problem. Yeah. We're currently working with a few clients. They're going to New Zealand, because anything outside of Australia, so New Zealand, Indonesia, Philippines, anything outside of Australia, you can then lodge a visa. So currently guiding a few clients through the process of, because they had a visa refused in Australia, and so now they're having to travel to New Zealand, and then we lodge the visa, and then they have to wait for the visa to be approved until they can come back. Mind you, again, there's other ways as well, but that's where it gets really technical. So to wrap up, new visa, it really depends on your goals. So we always ask, okay, what is your goal? What do you want to achieve? Do you want to stay long term? Do you just want to stay a little bit, a few months, maybe a year? Do you want to work? Do you want to study? Do you want to travel? What do you want to do in Australia? And especially if you want to stay long term, we're asking for your qualifications, we're asking for your work experience, we're asking for your English language skills, and we do things like points test assessments. Also, for example, if you have family in Australia, sometimes it helps because there's family sponsored visas. That is actually maybe a topic I can talk about another time. What about you let me know what topics you want to talk about, and I try to accommodate that, because I can talk about anything in regards to visas. That's what I do. So I don't mind what I talk about. So if you have any ideas, maybe also put them in the comments, or send us a message on Instagram or Facebook, and we'll make sure that we take that into our draw. All right, is there any more questions? Otherwise, I will be going offline and do some more work before I finish up this beautiful Monday. It's very sunny, it's very breezy. It's late March. It's full moon actually. It's beautiful. Beautiful weather here at the moment. All right, so there's no further comments, no further questions. I will go offline, and I will also check the other questions and comments that were made where Far, because Far is not a migration agent, so she's not able to answer immigration questions. So that's what I do as well as my team. And so I will now go through the chat, and we'll see if there's any questions relating to visa and immigration, and I will make sure that they will be getting answered. Also, if you watch the recording, feel free, even though obviously it's not live, but still feel free to comment. We're very responsive. Anyone who's ever messaged us or commented, you will know that we always answer our messages, and we always answer and respond to comments. Okay, so even if you watch the recording, feel free to comment, and we'll make sure that we respond. Bilal has just joined, I think, because he's asking, is immigration to Australia open? Bilal, I'll suggest watch the recording, because I answered that question in the very beginning, I think in the first 10 minutes of this live. All right, have a great Monday, have a great week, have a great Easter. Make sure that you follow us, and I will keep you updated about the next Monday live. Because it's Easter, we may be not doing a Monday live next Monday, but the following Monday. All right, thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.